Hey everyone, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts, and I'm working on stuff from the new holiday catalog. And let me tell you, I am in love with this stamp set. It is just so pretty. I made these sunflowers. It's kind of like a background stamp back here, and then I highlighted it and framed it with some early espresso. So I really love the way this came out. Excuse me. So this is 3 steps, and then there's some different leaves. There's some beautiful sayings. Your kindness means so much more than you will ever know. I am thankful for you. Gather together and give thanks. It's got a little acorn, little dots, so it's really nice. It does come with a punch as a bundle. You save 10% if you get both of these. I'm not using the punch today, but let's go ahead and get started. Let me start on the background and then this little square. So what I did on the background was I just stamped randomly the first part of the sunflower, and I used Daffodil Delight for that. So I'm just going to kind of stamp it around, going off sometimes, and no rhyme or reason. I think I say that too much, but that's my my little quote. Just randomly stamp it around. And then the next one I did, or let me do my center one as well while I have this out. So let me just put this up here and give me enough room to cut it out. And I found with lining this up, I kind of line up the inside circle. The next one I'm doing is Peekaboo Peach, and this really makes the flower come alive. It's really interesting to see how it works. So I try to kind of line up the inside circle with the flower, and it is kind of a watercolor look. Isn't that just beautiful? It just gives so much dimension. It's really pretty. So let me do the other ones, and I really just kind of tried to line up the center. I didn't worry about the flower at all, the petals. And we'll just do each one of them. And this is a nice color combination, Daffodil Delight and the Peekaboo Peach. You could probably use darker orangey type colors. Look at that, just beautiful. And this last one here. And then the center, I tried with Early Espresso. I'm using Early Espresso paper, and I tried the stamp, and it kind of looked black to me. So I went through my stash of paper pumpkin spots that you get every month. When you get a paper pumpkin, you get 1 or 2 of these, and it helps you collect colors that maybe you didn't purchase. So I found chocolate chip seemed to work well. So I'm going to just kind of ink that up, and the same thing, try to get the circle. And I don't know that this fits perfectly, so it goes off a little bit, but that's okay, not a problem. And we'll just do all of these. See, this is dark. It almost has like a reddish look, I guess, chocolate chips. But the Early Espresso looked black to me, so I didn't really care for that. It's always good to kind of test and play around. Okay, so that's all done. And then I stamped the, also in chocolate chip, the sentiment. So let me just get that back out. And for this kind of stamp, I'm going to just go this way. And I wanted to stamp this first before I cut it out, so I didn't have a problem lining it up. I'll get my Big Shot out in a second, and we'll just cut this out. So I did go a little bit over the petals. I am thankful for you. So that looks good. Let me get my Big Shot out. Now I already cut out the layering square with the scallop, so let me just show you what I'm using. There's the layering squares, and then the layering squares that have the scallop. So I use the second largest to cut this out, and then I use the largest I believe it was the largest for the scallop. Yeah, I wanted to give it a nice little border so it pops out. So let me move these to the side and get my big shot out, and we'll just cut this out quick. Should be pretty easy. Okay. So see, if I had cut it out first, I wouldn't be able to line it up as well. So I like to stamp and then, for the most part, stamp and then do my die cutting. So let's run this through, and you only have to run it through once for this type of a cut. When I do intricate cuts, I run it back and forth a couple of times. So let's see. I'll just pop this out. And we'll put this back over here. And then I just put this down with some of my snail. Oops. And just kind of line that up. Make sure it's even. I mean, isn't this just so pretty? I love it. I love sunflowers and black-eyed Susies and those kind of flowers. So let's see which way we want to do it. I think I'll do it this way. And what I did was I put some of this burlap ribbon, which I really love. It's the burlap ribbon. That's what it's called, actually. So I just took a piece, I cut it, kind of just judged it, and I folded it in half, and we'll play with that once I get this down to see how long we need it. But let me actually put this down on the card first before I get it all bumpy with the burlap ribbon. So I'll put this down on the card base, and the card base is Early Espresso, which I think really goes nicely with this. Even though the center is the chocolate chip, I think that's fine. And then I just kind of laid it out to try to figure it out. But let me just put the dimensionals on the back of this. I use dimensionals because this will be bulky, and I wanted to make sure this lifted up above it so you couldn't see the bulk below it. And I actually stapled the I don't have one of Stampin' Up! Used to have a stapler, so I just used my office stapler. And I just kind of figured out how to make it look like what I wanted. So let me just staple this. I stapled it a couple of times just to make sure it was secure. And then I put this down with the liquid glue. I would make sure you put it down with fast fuse or a hot glue gun or liquid glue just to make sure it stays down well. I think I might just cut these tips off a little bit. It seems a little long. So let me just get my ribbon scissors and cut them at an angle. Yeah, I think that's better. So what I did was I just placed it where I wanted it, and then I got my liquid glue and just put it underneath there. And I will hold it down for a little bit. I'll put a little bit of glue on there just to make sure whatever sticks to it will stay. And I'm actually going to just put a block on it just to hold it. I'll clean the glue off that block when I'm done. So while we're waiting for that to just really hold, let me get my card base, which I'm looking for. I thought I had it out here. I'll be right back. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. You know what I did? I had this for my card inside, and I used it to cut out instead of the scrap I had, so that's okay. So I put the sentiment in, your kindness means so much more than you will ever know, and I did that in the chocolate chip as well, just to coordinate it. So let me get that out. And then I just put a couple of leaves down at the bottom, and the leaves were two-step leaves as well, two-step stamping. So let me just get this all inked up, make sure it looks good. Okay. And I will put this in the center toward the top so I can put the leaves down and also write my sentiment. And this should be okay now. I'll just clean that off. I just like to make sure, oops, it stays down pretty good. So let me put this down, and then we'll finish the inside of the card. I just wanted to get it nice and set. I love these dimensionals. They really stick well, and you can pop whatever you want off, and it really looks nice. So there we go. And let's finish this off. So I used the two leaves. They have these leaves, which I guess also go with the punch. And then they have this little kind of ferny looking thing, which is two steps. So I did the background and then the insides. And I used garden green for that. And I stamped off the background first, which is kind of the smoother, and then there's the more detailed one. So I stamped this, or inked it up, stamp it on my scrap, and let me just wipe the side of this. I got some ink on the side. I don't want to get it on my card. I have baby wipe. I always have baby wipes when I'm stamping. Some things are more inky than others. So let me try that again. So I'm going to stamp that, and then I'm going to do the same thing and kind of go this way. And then I have the more detailed one, which was really a little hard to tell on this one, but I think I got it. And I'm going to go directly down. So that gives it just kind of a two-tone look. And you can see through these stamps, which is really nice to help you line everything up. So that's the inside. Once we attach that, we'll be done with the card. And I just really am in love with this set. This is my kind of flower, I guess. So I think that's why I love it so much. So I know we're still in August, but autumn is right around the corner. So it's good to get started with some of these kinds of cards. So here they are. I hope you liked them. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you soon. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Have a good day. Bye.